In the early days of renting out, I had these tenants that were the worst. They just stopped paying rent, blocked me on WhatsApp, refused to take any calls, and just completely stopped paying their rent. In South Africa, the laws are pro-tenants. To evict people is a very lengthy and expensive process. And I don't want you to go through it, so I'll give you the most up-to-date tips and effective tools that you can use. But before we jump into it, my name is Henk van der Merwe. In this channel, we talk about real estate, business, e-commerce in sunny South Africa. If you like these topics, if you find them interesting, smash that like button. And here's a picture of some freshly baked cupcakes just to say thank you so much. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. So I remember when I lettered to these tenants just after I got them out, I moved in new tenants, I followed the right procedure. In the next 16 months, the rent was paid on time. I never had any issues with these new tenants, and most of it is due to following the right procedure. So how did I get these great tenants? How do I get great tenants across multiple properties in South Africa and make sure that they pay their rent on time? As soon as you acquired a possible tenant that's interested in renting your property from you, you have to verify. So there's 3 steps. There's verify, there's upfront communication, and continued communication. So step number 1, verify. You have to ask the tenant, the possible tenant, and say, listen, I would love to have your previous landlord's number, and you need to use that number and give them a call and say, hey, Sonny or this person wants to rent from me. Have they paid their rent in the last 24, 12 months, and have they paid it on time? The second thing is to check out your tenant on social media. And don't check posts of the last 3 months, go back all the way, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. The third and one of the most important things is to do a credit check on them. How do you do that in South Africa? It's a beautiful tool called accountability.co.za. Now, this tool is around 300 Rand a month, so there is a price tag to it, but it is so worth it. You don't have to ask a real estate agent to do this credit checks for you. You do the credit checks yourself. Remember to ask the tenant's permission on WhatsApp in writing before you do it, because you have to have their permission to do it. If they don't want to give you permission, then don't rent out to them. Simple as that. On accountability.co.za, you can also do an ID check to check if their ID number corresponds, if it's legitimate. You can also do a criminal test. If you can just cross-reference the ID to any criminal charges, that is also very important. And like I said, to verify the ID. The second step is what most people and real estate agents do terribly. That is the upfront communication. You need to sit with a tenant, you need to be serious. There is no room in error for communicating with a tenant the first time. You have to be serious, you have to be straight to the point, you have to be dressed up properly and formally for the occasion. You need to set the expectation that this is a serious matter. There is no compromise. There is no late payments. There's nothing like that. This is not allowed. If you don't pay on time, you are going to be moved out. So you communicate out of a place of authority and seriousness. This is no child's play, because I promise you, you will not laugh if they pay the rent on the 5th and then the second month they just pay it when they pay it. All right? People can smell it if you are just going to be Mr. Nice Guy and be like, oh, dude, it's fine. You know, your family is going through things. You can pay me later. Doesn't work like that with this, okay? This is serious business, no monkey business. You pay the rent on time, and that's that. If you pay late once, you are out. Cool. So we got that out of the way. Now, they pay their first month's rent before they move in. So let's say your rent is 20,000 Rand and your deposit is 40,000 Rand. They have to give you a check for 60,000 Rand before they move anything into the flat. Then continued communication. Again, the real estate agents usually suck in these two. Continued communication. You need to send them an early invoice, and the invoice needs to look proper. You need to have logos on it. It needs to look like a massive business. Send it around the 22nd of the month, because a lot of people get paid the 25th to the 27th. so that when the money drops, they pay you. So invoice, proper invoice, send it early. Then also, when the tenant questions you on anything, respond as fast as possible and type it out. Don't really send them voice notes. Be formal and concise. You're a businessman or woman. This isn't a joke. This is serious business. No fooling around. They are your clients. You need to take care of them. If they pay their stuff on time, they are your clients. You need to make sure that they're happy. So just respond to them and have everything on paper. Those are kind of the very important things. Something to add, depending on where you are, if you're in South Africa, you've got an inbound and an outbound inspection. So before the tenant goes into the property, you have to walk through them in the property and you have to take pictures that nothing is broken in the flat. So when they move out and they say, "Yo, but this was already broken," you have proof with them that you did an inbound and an outbound inspection with them. Another pro tip I will give you is if you need a contract, there's a platform called Law for All. You can just Google it. It's lawforall.co.za, where you can get free templates to all the contracts, maybe change out the logos or just white label it. You can use those. They are very good. Just read through it and make sure you also understand everything. And then another pro tip to final this video is that in South Africa, there is a law called the Consumer Protection Act that states that a tenant can give you 20 business days to move out of the property. Don't communicate this in your contract, but if it happens that the tenant says they want to move out, you cannot withhold their deposit or withhold funds from them. And so you have to get tenants in your place. If they tell you, let's say the 5th of the month, listen, end of the month, I'm joining, you have to deal with that and you need to get new tenants. Now, most tenants don't do this because they are civil, but you get those people that will use this law and say, listen, I'm going to rock off. You have to get people in my place and I want my deposit. And if they've not damaged the property, you have to give them back their deposit. So those are the 3 steps. I hope you have a great day. If you find value in this video, please consider subscribing. Check out my other videos. There's a great video on how to buy your first property in South Africa. There's a great video on one of my property purchases where I run you through all the financials, which is just great if you're starting out. So if that's you, hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.